Even with a job, a man may have to return at night to a dilapidated, crowded shack where his incentive and determination can slowly ebb away.
I think the most immediate and the most drastic need in this territory, especially in this county, is housing. The houses in this county, 99% of the residences are frame, and they're from 20 to 35 to 40 years old. They have been patched and cobbled up until they don't look too bad from the outside as you pass, but they actually fall into pieces. 95% of the homes have outside toilets, no water facilities. A few have water run into the house, and they simply pipe it out on the ground.
Well, I've heard a lot of tales like so-and-so lives up in the hollow and doesn't have any running water and no lights and likes it. That's a bunch of tommy rot. He doesn't like it. Would you like it?
These people found a way to do something about it. With a government loan only sufficient to buy materials, this family set about repairing their house themselves. It is not an easy job after working a long day on their farm, but they are succeeding because of their powerful desire for something better.
My husband and I were so worried about getting our house fixed for this winter. And then we started worrying how we would be able to go on with the house. We didn't have any material to work on it. And my husband couldn't do anything about it. He had to work to support the family, and while he was working, he couldn't do anything here. Well, anyway, we found out from somebody that we could have a loan. So I talked with my husband, and we finally decided to go and see about it. And I don't know what we had done with our home if it hadn't been for help for us, and we hadn't had that loan.
I put all this paneling and ceilings and plastering inside, outside. I guess by December I'm going to be ready with it. I hope so. So I do all my best in my house for my family to live better.
This is only one family among millions. These people were fortunate enough to be able to get help, but such assistance should be available to all who need it. Massive programs must be launched, programs that consider the fact that impoverished communities can contribute only a small part of the necessary funds. The people of each community must get to know each other, understand each other, and finally, act together.
It seems to me that this is what we've got to do. Any county that is really interested has got to bring together a good, strong basis of public support. Not only a few interested persons. There's got to be representation from boards of county commissioners, from city governors, from all of the agencies that are concerned, schools, community colleges, industrial education centers, welfare and health agencies, employment service. And there's also got to be representation, involvement, participation by leaders in the communities where the people live that most need help. We've got to understand how these people look on life, what they see as the barriers to their finding jobs, finding opportunities for themselves and their children.
Hayter's Gap, a mountain community in Washington County, Virginia. A community like many others, where a few men became concerned and anxious to do something for their town. The important thing was to unify the people who were scattered throughout the area. Seizing upon the idea of a community club, they held their first meeting. A meeting that included about 70 members of the community itself and people from all the government branches in the county. One thing was stressed: everyone had to be involved. To do this, they launched a number of programs, particularly in the field of recreation, baseball games in the afternoon and picnics in the evening. But money was needed for these projects. To raise it, they set up a lunch stand in a donated garage, and rotating groups of volunteers from the community operated it on weekends. Now the community wanted to broaden the scope of its projects, involve the whole county, do more to help the people. To accomplish this, the director of the program wrote a letter asking for help. The letter arrived at the United States Department of Agriculture in Washington, and almost immediately the townspeople had some help. They learned of the Office of Economic Opportunity and were able to present their plans. As a result, they received a grant of approximately $67,000 to develop programs to combat poverty in the county. One of the most successful of these is the Home Visitation Program. One young man, only 19 years old, works with high school dropouts and others.
I meet them in the homes, on the streets, and in many particular places, and peculiar places too. As I meet the dropouts and talk with them, gain their confidence, I try to persuade them to go to either technical school or back to high school maybe. In doing this, I take them to technical school, let them talk to authority there, and explain things such as the classes, the courses, how long to last. And with this, they become interested in this. And so eventually they will enroll in the technical school and take a trade and become specialized in this. The thing that I'm particularly interested in is the illiterate people, especially the young illiterate people. In this rural area of ours, there are many that can't read or write, and without this, they are just lost. Therefore, I spend a great deal of time and put forth a little more effort each day to help these people to learn this, reading and writing, so as they can go to school and take their place in this everyday world.
Another worker in the Home Visitation Program is a woman who is moving around the community with an intelligent attitude, presenting the programs in a new way to the people she meets.
As I have gone into the homes of these underprivileged people and talked with them about their problems and explained our program to them, it is amazing to see the expressions on their faces. Some believe, some say, this is too good to be true, while others say, when did this happen? Where can I go to apply for this program? In explaining this program to the people, I always emphasize the fact that one must get himself qualified in order to get and hold a job. We are having group meetings in order to open doors and decide where our future is going to be. I am hoping that our county can be surveyed in terms of better job opportunities and employment needs for qualified people.
Washington, one example of a community in action. Federal government stands ready to help all rural communities in their fight against poverty. But the communities themselves must take the initiative, organize and prepare programs to eradicate poverty. The framework and the means exist for a creative partnership between government and local leadership. They exist in the Economic Opportunity Act, in programs of the United States Department of Agriculture, and in the services of other federal and state agencies. Now it is up to local leaders to act. A start has been made. Much more remains to be done. It is said that the poor will always be with us. But who knows what man may accomplish when his goals are high and his determination unfailing.